The last 4 lessons were dedicated to helping you understand how to create and nurture a solid and unshakable foundation to allow you to operate with self-determination. We focus on elevating your core self-evaluations to fundamentally improve how you see your core self. As important as that all is, we can't end there. Because the reality is, no matter how unshakable we might feel in a given moment, we're not impervious to outside forces. If we're not careful, these outside forces can erode our self-determination and fuel our doubt. We live in a society that's modeled on traditional benchmarks, where we're constantly bombarded with messages about what's socially acceptable and what's not, what the path to happiness should look like and what it shouldn't, and how we should strive towards success and avoid failure at all costs. There are imaginary timelines against which we plan our lives and upon which we're judged as having succeeded or failed. Should you fail to reach a milestone in time or not reach it at all, you'll discover self-doubt reinforced everywhere you look, especially from those around you. And then we begin to question ourselves based on these apparent expectations and standards. We compare ourselves to others. We trap ourselves in a mental loop of our own making, imagining the expectations others have of us, which are most often wrong, and then keep measuring ourselves against these arbitrary imagined expectations. We convince ourselves that we must be doing life wrong, that we're somehow defective, deficient, which fills us with doubt about our ability to be human. This lesson is an extremely important one. We're diving into some of the external forces that fuel your self-doubt and erode your ability to feel even remotely unshakable. So far in this quest, we've looked at the science, the principles and techniques that you can implement to help break free from self-doubt's trap. But that's not enough, because your environment also plays a huge role in either reinforcing your doubt or supporting your growth. And without being aware of that and how external forces affect your energy, and then making informed choices that serve you, you're going to be at the whim of these forces. The first external force that disrupts our energy is one we all know very well: the media, both legacy news and social media. Let's start with legacy media. Legacy media and advertisers work to drive consumerism. They understand how to play into the psychology of fear of missing out very well, which fuels our self-doubt. We're constantly bombarded with marketing messages about where we should be in our lives. Buy the family house with a mortgage, get the car or two on finance, of course, maintain the sturdy, secure job to pay off the mortgage and the car finance. And then we still receive messages about what we should wear, have on our wrist, where we should holiday. Then people play into this and perpetuate it on social media. I got a new job. I got a promotion. Look at this beautiful holiday villa I've taken my family to. It's inescapable. And what gets people into trouble is trying to constantly keep up. They give in to the self-doubt that they feel about not wanting to fall behind. But what does it mean to want to constantly keep up? It means spending more money and getting into more debt. It means pushing yourself because you don't feel that you've done enough. You're falling behind. So you play into hustle culture and convince yourself that happiness is just around the corner if you only push a little further for a little longer and get another property and buy into the stock market even though you're uninformed because FOMO. What people don't realize is that they're buying into a collective unconsciousness where they're repeating patterns of behavior that the masses are almost programmed to accept and follow. The media makes it seem like there's only one way, and if you deviate, then something's wrong with you. We have to raise our collective consciousness about what we're fed through legacy media and have greater discretion about how it affects our energy, shapes our worldview, and directs our behavior. So the first thing we invite you to do is raise your consciousness. Next time you come across news in the media about the housing market, the stock market, the economy, anything that makes you feel a sense of FOMO, unease, or self-doubt, stop and ask yourself these 2 questions. First, is there an agenda beyond just presenting facts? For example, as we know, a lot of legacy media can have strong political and industry influences. Second, how is this leading me to feel? Do I feel a sense of FOMO, inadequacy? Do I feel deficient, like I'm falling behind? Capture your thoughts by writing them down in the moment. Then take a break and do something else until the following day. Return to what you wrote about and how you felt based on your earlier reflection. How could you look at it with greater rationality? How can you see the world through your own eyes and independently investigate the truth for yourself? Don't buy into the hype and the mass media rhetoric. Be smart, be wise, use your discretion. Now, the second area we need to be cautious of is the lurking beast of social media. How do you feel when you use social media? Do you feel empowered? Does it lead you to focus on how amazing other people's lives are, their families, their businesses, and then make you start to question why yours isn't? Social media fuels comparison, and comparison fuels self-doubt. Social media allows people to convey a curated version of their lives. All it takes is a filter, some light editing, some facial enhancements, teeth whitening, full body bronzing, and boom, you have a magazine-worthy photo shared with the world. We all know this, yet we still compare ourselves against what we see. Researchers have consistently found the more time you spend on social media, the worse you feel about yourself. And instead of feeling unshakable, you fuel your self-doubt. Not only that, social media can manipulate your energy and your mood. Facebook actually conducted what's considered a highly unethical study back in January 2012. For 1 week, data scientists skewed what almost 700,000 Facebook users saw when they logged in. Some people were shown happy and positive content. Some were shown sad and anger-inducing content. After a week, these manipulated users were more likely to post either especially positive or negative words themselves, depending on what they'd seen. What does this tell us? There is a phenomenon called emotional contagion. You can catch the emotions and the moods of others, even if it's online. So it's really important for the sake of your mood, your energy, your emotional state, and your conviction to do a stock take, to become more aware of where you spend your time, how you feel when you spend your time in these places, and have greater discernment around what you're being exposed to and how that's either empowering you or negatively affecting you. So knowing this, how do you protect your energy? Do a social media stock take. Next time you're using social media, pay attention to how you feel when you see what the people in your network share. The moment you feel uneasy, inadequate, or you notice self-doubt creeping in, stop. You have 3 choices. Swipe away, which is a temporary fix, close the app, another temporary fix, or unfollow, a more permanent fix. You get to choose who you surround yourself with, in person and online. You have free will to choose what you expose yourself to that can either elevate or drain your energy. Unfollow anyone or anything that doesn't uplift you. Instead, choose to curate your feed by following empowering profiles and creators that inspire, empower, and energize you. It's not only the legacy in social media we need to be aware of. When it comes to how unshakable you feel versus whether you're filled with self-doubt, we need to acknowledge that our experience of who we are and our identity was largely shaped in the first 5 to 7 years of our lives based on the actions and words of other people. Your parents, primary caregivers, family, early school teachers, and others. People have the ability to influence us more than we realize. Early in my career, when I was riddled with self-doubt and imposter syndrome, I worked with a general manager who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. I was in an industry I knew nothing about. I felt lost. And yet Andy saw a huge potential in me. He gave me big responsibilities before I was ready. He encouraged me to be creative and apply my strengths. And I delivered. I didn't want to let him down, but also, because he believed in my potential, I started to believe in my potential. Have you ever experienced something like this? This is a psychological phenomenon called the Pygmalion effect. When we're around people who believe in us and our abilities and who encourage us, it increases our chances of success by influencing our performance. We are more likely to embody that positive view that they have of us. We become our own self-fulfilling prophecy. And the opposite is also true. When we're around people who anticipate low performance, who don't believe that we're capable and have low expectations for us, whether that's family, friends, coworkers, toxic partners, this leads to poorer performance and less motivation. It's a negative, self-fulfilling prophecy called the Golem effect. You might have heard of the quote attributed to Jim Rohn: "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." While there's no scientific evidence to validate the number 5, there is some degree of truth because of the influence people have on us. The people you spend time with shape who you are. They determine what conversations dominate your attention. They influence which attitudes and behaviors you're regularly exposed to. They also influence your motivation through a phenomenon called motivational contagion. This is why we're often more motivated to work out when we get to the gym and see everyone around us doing it too. When you spend enough time with people, they rub off on you. You eventually start to think in the same way that others think and behave like they behave. Emotions are contagious, thoughts are contagious, and behaviors are contagious. And if the people you're around don't believe in your ability, you won't either. There's something really important that we want to call attention to here. When you're on a journey of self-growth, personal development, and self-discovery, you will go through changes. And for some people in your life, seeing you evolve and achieve new heights of success could become a trigger for them, accentuating their lack of perceived growth. Sometimes the most vocal detractors and haters in our lives are those we know or used to know. Remind yourself that people may just be projecting their own insecurities, and you might need to make certain decisions to protect yourself without harming them. So we're going to start this journey right now to intentionally attract your soul tribe. These are people who deserve to be in our inner world, who uplift us, elevate our desires, make us want to strive to be better, to have greater impact in the world. There are 4 steps. Step 1, in your action book or even in a journal, reflect on the last 2 weeks and write down everyone you came into contact with, including online. Step 2, continuing that list, reflect on the last 6 months and write down everyone you interacted with regularly, family, friends, coworkers. Step 3, grab a different colored pen and circle those people who you find empowering. Who uplifts you when you're around them? Who do you admire? Who makes you feel like you want to be a better person after you interact with them? Step 4, now write a new list with only the people you circled. These are your people, your soul tribe. Make a commitment to spend more time with these people, to invest in these relationships, and minimize contact if you can with those who aren't on that list, or at least become more aware of the impact that they have on you. Develop your internal strength to protect your energy when you have to engage with them. The final note that we want to make here is that the words of others can hurt, but only if we allow them to. On your journey, you might face criticism, have harsh comments hurled at you, people trying to pull you down. And if we allow it, it can dampen our energy and lead us to doubt our value. Next time this happens, understand that they are hurting in some way. Say to yourself, I have compassion for this person. Only hurt people hurt people. I wish them well. Instantly rise above. You can understand without excusing someone's behavior. Free your heart of resentment and hostility to unburden your soul and protect your energy. Work through the exercises and come back to them whenever you might need the reminder. Cleansing your environment of things that are harming you is a powerful way to protect yourself against forces that try to promote self-doubt and help you feel more unshakable on your journey. We have 2 lessons left of this quest, and we couldn't be more excited for what's to come. In the next lesson, you'll learn how when you shift your focus to this one thing, your self-doubt evaporates, making way for the unshakable person within to emerge. When you're ready, join us to learn what that one thing is and to experience a truly heroic transformation of consciousness.